Hello and welcome to the next video in the Introduction and Training video series utilizing the xDIM mobile dimensioning system. Here we'll take a look at taking dimensions of irregular or odd objects. In this category of objects, we classify any object that could not be seen as a box as odd or irregular. So for today's examples, we'll take a look at buckets, large irregular items such as luggage or rolls, down to smaller odd objects such as Clorox bottles, headphones, cups, or other small objects. In this example, we'll take a look at some luggage that would fit within the irregular and odd object category. A few things to note here would be, as opposed to the box and corner method, where the system can rely on recognizing the corner of the object or box for a sub-second capture, with irregular objects, you may see a capture time closer to the 2 to 6 second range. To begin this process, navigate to the irregular or odd object method on the bottom left of your screen indicated by a bucket. Another important thing to note here is, as opposed to the box method where we are wanting to be roughly 45 degrees out from the corner, here we want to maintain a slightly more over-the-top view of the object so the system can recognize both what's in front of it as well as any variations or extremes on the other side of the object. Again, maintaining a slightly higher orientation over the object. We'll move to the second here. And as the lines begin dancing around the object, you know you're marching towards a good capture. Another successful one there. You'll also notice a progress bar on the top of your screen indicating that it's looking for a good capture. And again, with these three objects, we saw roughly a 2 to 6 second capture time. In the next example, we'll take a look at a bucket and some tubular material objects that also fit into the irregular and odd object categories. One thing to note here is if objects are closely put together, the system may try to cluster those together, allowing for a combined capture. To avoid that, simply separate the object, ensuring the system is able to recognize the object you want to capture. While in the odd object measurement method, maintaining proper orientation over the top of the object, you can see that capture time in that 2 to 6 second range. As we move to the tubular objects, we'll notice the dancing lines around the objects indicating the system is identifying the proper object and the progress bar is marching towards a capture. Going to the final object here, we'll repeat the process, again aiming for that 2 to 6 second capture time. In this next example, we'll take a look at a few smaller objects that also fit into the irregular and odd object categories. You may also want to use a small cart or platform that has a large enough area for the objects to sit on. A few things to be cognizant of here are having the objects too closely clustered together, as you see here, as opposed to having it centered in the middle away from the edges. We'll follow a similar practice of orienting the tablet above the object, and once we see the progress bar marching towards a capture, we'll know the object has been identified. Take another example here, and in this case, you'll see that there are some smaller portions of the object that are quite thin, in this case cables. This could extend the capture time slightly, but following a similar practice, having the object in the center of the cart, orienting over the top of the object, the progress we're marching towards, and we'll see a good capture time. In another example, we'll use this cup, bringing it to the center of the cart. And in this case, the top of the cup is clear and quite shiny with the lights here. And the system may have a difficult time capturing that. So one troubleshoot you can do is, again, orienting the object in a slightly different way. In this case, we'll tilt it down. Following a similar process of coming over the top of the object, we see the dancing lines and the progress bar, and a good time to capture there. Finally, we'll take a look at a bag, bringing it to the center of the platform, making sure that the other objects aren't too close. You see the progress bar and the dancing lines, and a good capture time there. For more information, contact us today and be sure to watch the additional xDIM 101 training videos relating to more in-depth details for each dimensioning category.